In this video, we're going to focus on the CSS part of our item or our indicator. So for example, here right now we have danger because we are on this value here. But what if I click here on success? It goes down here within the bracket of success, and then we get here the indicator, a green color. And of course, if I do here below the yellow line, it becomes reset system or warning. So we need to reset and becomes yellow. And if I click on this, you can see here we can go any other value. So let's start to explore how to do this. So let's start to explore how to color the indicator with CSS in Chartjs. And please note this is part 2, so make sure if you want to follow along, watch part 1, which you can find as well in the comment section. I will make sure that I will pin their video, but this is the video name or the title of it, how to create an indicator based on values in Chartjs. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that this here gets a proper color. But what I want to assign first is some basic design on this. So let's scroll down here and we're going to look at basically this is the item we want. The ID here is the status. So I'm going to grab this ID. Let's say a hashtag, then the status. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to assign a value on here. What I want to do here is I want to give it a bold design, and eventually, because we're going to give it a background color, I want to have the text or the font should be white and some bolded font size. So let's start to work on it. So we're going to say here font weight equals bold. Once we have this, I want to say this will be color white. Then what I will say here is let's give it some padding. So I'm going to say padding 5 pixels for top and bottom. And then we have 10 pixels for left and right. So it will look like a button style design. So then, of course, a border radius. And the border radius will be 5 pixels. Very straightforward. We're going to save this. And once we have this, if I refresh, of course, now you cannot see anything here. So let's give this a proper background color for now. But we need to reassign the background color later on. So I'm going to say here black for now. Save. So we have a visual. There you are. So as you can see here, it is loading from pending to danger, and there we are. You will immediately understand it. So what I want to now is to start to assign a proper background color on here. So let's start to work on that. So what I want to do is eventually, if we scroll down here all at the bottom, this is the part where we're going to assign a class. So whatever the status would be, danger would be the danger item. So there will be a danger class in here. So I'm going to scroll up here, and within here, I'm going to put in now, very simple. We say here dot warning, for example, because this will be the yellow color. So we're going to say here background, and then eventually we can just comment this one out. We don't need this anymore. And the background color here will be, well, let's see, if we scroll down here, we want to have the warning is the yellow color. The yellow color is this item here. And I don't want the background color of this. I want this a solid color. So that's the third one in here. Let's copy that. Say, and put it in here. Make sure no quotations or no string here because this is CSS. So once we have this, I'm going to copy that, put in here, and we're going to say here danger. And for danger, we're going to get the red color, and the red color is the first one here in the border color array. Put that in there, and then there we are. And then finally, we can do the same one here with success, and this will be the green color. So I'm going to scroll down here and get the fourth item in the array, which is the green color. Copy and paste here. Save this. So if I refresh here now, nothing happens. It's still basically default. Why? We didn't assign anything yet. We only have put this in here, but we didn't say the color. So I'm going to scroll down now and going to say here, very simple, a option. So if the status inner text equals danger, then of course what we need to have is we need to add a class name of danger. So I'm going to say status, then we say here dot, and say here class list. And class list, there's basically 2 ways, class list and class name, but I would recommend class list. Class list will add up an item, and we're going to say dot add, while a class name will override every item we have and put in a new class in here, which is fine, but I like this style more. So then I'm going to say here, what would be here the class name? Well, the class name will be a danger. So we're going to add the status, and this basically the status is the ID item, remember, this one here. And we're going to add up here danger. Once we did this, basically now we can do exactly the same. I'm going to copy this, put in here, And here we will say warning. This will be the yellow color. And then we have the final one here will be success. So if I save this, of course, we're not done yet because we're not removing anything yet. So if I refresh here now, you can see it becomes danger. But if I click on this, it does work here, and you click on this, it does work. But of course, there are some issues here. Why? We didn't remove anything. So let's look at the console log, click on the item, and then you can just read here. You can see we have the danger, success, and warning. And for some reason, it grabs the success color and assumes that that is the last one. Works, or probably the reason for that is most likely is because we have the last, that was the last one in CSS. So that will be, everything else would be overwritten by this design here. So we don't want this, or at least we don't want them all up here. We need to remove the ones that are not applicable. So let's scroll down here, and I'm going to show you now another item here. And that is basically the same here for this, but then instead of add, we're going to remove. And this is very nice here. We're going to remove danger, we're going to put a danger here. Then we'll put a comma, and we're going to say here as well, removing warning. So if any of these two are existing on the item or in the class list, it will remove them. And of course, we have to remove this here. Or say, instead of add, remove. So let's copy this, do the same here, and then exactly the opposite. Instead of warning, this should be success. And then finally here, copy, put it in there, and say danger, this should be warning. So then we have this nicely. And if I save this, refresh, there you are, you can see here. And if I click on this, let's refresh again, there you are. Now you click on it, this works nicely. What is very nice is if I would click this multiple times, you might say, will we not add multiple times the class name danger? The answer is no. And you can check this. Alright, so let's go to our console log, click on this item. You can see here the status is still danger. Why is this? Well, let me explain. Class, or this class list, will only look if we have added it, or if it's already on the list. If it is on the list, there's no need to add twice the same item. This is very important because this can be this could sometimes be an issue. If you have multiple times the same class name on there and you remove only one item, here it basically would remove one time the class list or the class name, then you would have an issue. But you can see here with this, it doesn't duplicate anything. And that's basically the most important one. So as a bonus, I could basically show you another way to do this. So let's go up here. This is another way, and this might be sometimes in your case, for example, you don't use status, or for some reason you can use this. So what we could do is here another trick. So I'm going to say here dot. And then what I'm going to do here is, for example, we're going to put it in our item here. Is the chart box. And what I'm going to do is I just will comment this out. So we have this, and I guess this is not possible. Sorry, I have to do like this. And here hashtag, but asterisk. There we are. Remove that. All right. So what I'm going to do now is here, just say a dot status. Then here I'm going to just duplicate all of this, or except the black, that one here. Put this in here. So if I would do this, and this is not status, sorry, this should be our chart box. I'm going to put that in there, save that, refresh. Alright, so as you can see here now, what is happening, it will conflict with each other. But what I'm going to do now is I will say here the following. If an item has the class name of chart box, but also the item or the class name, and it consists in here, warning, so we're going to say dot warning. So if they're within this div, so basically what I'm saying, if there's a div, this class name equals chart box, and then there's another item in here somewhere, let's say, and in our case would be the span, and that has a class name of warning, then start to use this instead of this design here. So we're going to do that one. That's basically another way to do it. So then we have like this, except for the background color here, because this will depend. So we're going to comma here. We're going to do exactly the same, but then here I'll just duplicate it twice more, and then we say instead of warning, I'm going to grab danger, and then success, put it here. Save that, refresh. You can see here it again works nicely without conflicting both of these items here. So this is one or the other, especially if you don't have, or you have your class name, but you're not able to work with a ID, which can be sometimes the case. So if you enjoyed this video and maybe you want to go even a bit more deeper, because I have another video coming very soon where we will make the background color of the chart, depending on the area, the same color red if it's like that, or if it goes down here to success, it should be only green here, and this too will be transparent, and same here, we'll make this yellow at the bottom. And this will be a very advanced topic, and it will be part 3, will be coming out very soon. Once it's out, you'll see the video link on the screen here right now.